You're watching ESPN First Take.
As if the legend of Tim Tebow hadn't already reached Chuck Norris status, we now have the latest tall tale. Let's call this one Tebow at the bat. Last week, rumors surfaced that the new Broncos quarterback had dropped by batting practice at a Memphis high school and cranked 12 of the 15 pitches he saw out of the park. That's right, 12 home runs on 15 pitches. Since there's no video evidence to support or refute the story, we thought we'd track down the man throwing those pitches. He is Kyle Finney. He's an assistant coach on the Memphis University School's baseball team, and he is here now to give us an eyewitness account. Kyle, thanks so much for joining us. The world wants to know here, fact or fiction, did he really hit 12 home runs in 15 batting practice pitches?
That is true. He did a phenomenal job. Did a great job taking batting practice, and it wasn't just a planned thing. It just was kind of a spur of moment after about a 4-hour workout. So he probably actually hit more than 15 because he swung at or more than 12 because he swung at more than 15 pitches.
The always skeptical Skip Bayless ran over here just before we started the segment and said, ask him how far the home run fence was, because some high school dimensions are a little shorter down the line. How far was he hitting these home runs, and how far is the home run fence there?
You know, I knew that was going to be the first question that they asked. So our fence is, I think, 326 down the line and about 370 in center field. But he hit the ball a lot further than that. He hit probably at least 5 or 6 balls that went over the road at our complex and into the woods. So wow. He probably hit 5 balls that went 400+ feet.
Wow. All right. Now, what kind of pitches were you throwing?
Well, believe me, I threw enough pitches up there for him to try to hit the home runs. I wasn't trying to strike him out. So right. I wanted Tim Tebow to look as good as Tim Tebow could possibly look, and of course he did that. So
you were just it's your typical batting practice pitches, straight fastballs, right?
Right, straight fastballs. You know, I was left-handed. He didn't know I was left-handed, but he's a left-handed batter, and I was left-handed, so that kind of threw him off for a second. But it didn't take but 2 pitches, and he was fine and continue with hitting.
How did you get picked to throw batting practice to him?
Well, it really wasn't a thing where he had planned to go over there and take batting practice. He'd come to our school to work out and throw. He threw about 200 passes to some local boys, receivers. Then he went to our weight room and worked out. And needless to say, it was a mob scene at the school. You know, word that Tim Tebow was there. So then when he decided to go run, and we had a track meet going on, so I told him, I said, well, look, let me just take you to the baseball field. We can lock the gates, and everybody will leave you alone. So he went to the baseball field and ran in the outfield, and you know, as word got around that Tim Tebow was there, people was coming and watching him work out, and then there was 2 boys that were taking batting practice in the batting cage, and he said to his agent, you think I can hit one out of here? And of course his agent says, no, there's no way. You hadn't swung a bat in 5 years. So Tim said, well, Coach, you think I can hit one? I said, sure. And so one thing led to another, and he knocked a lot out of the ballpark.
Is that true? He hadn't swung a bat in 5 years?
That's what he said. Wow. After the first couple of pitches, he looked like he had swung a bat pretty often, but he's told me he hadn't swung a bat in 5 years.
Well, that's just Tim Tebow. What was running through your mind as you're standing there throwing to Tim Tebow?
Make sure I didn't throw it outside, and make sure I was behind the L screen so he wouldn't hit me with it.
Well, that's a very good idea. Those that were in attendance watching, what was the general reaction as Tim Tebow, the quarterback, is knocking one after another over the home run fence?
Well, most of the people were behind the fences, and as the ball were going out of the fence, the little boys were going through the woods and getting the balls, and they were throwing some of them back, but I know they kept a lot of them. But it was really funny because when Tim hit some of them, the 400+ home runs, he ran around and was giving the 2 boys that were there taking bat practice, giving them high fives, and they were just acting like they were good friends and good teammates. So it was a lot of fun.
Well, it sounds like you really enjoyed yourself, and the legend of Tim Tebow continues to grow. Kyle Finney turning internet rumor into fact. Kyle, thanks. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Now off to the debate desk for the legendary Skip Bayless.
All right, you just heard from the guy that was throwing BP to Tebow, and a couple things stand out. 326 down the line, 370 to center, but 5, I believe he said at least, that were 400-plus home runs for him.
Son.
Are you buying this?
Yeah, I'm buying it. And I think the legend grows even before Tim Tebow takes his first NFL snap, or should we say his first major league at-bat for the Rockies, because I think that's coming pretty soon. Look, I don't buy that he hasn't swung a bat in 5 years, because his roommate was Riley Cooper at Florida, and Riley played for the Gator baseball team, was a very good baseball player. Tim was a good high school baseball player. I'm just guessing that he took a little BP occasionally with the Gator baseball team. But I've said all along, this is a sensational athlete, and I thought Denver made a great move trading up to get him. I think he'll start and play very well for Denver at quarterback next year, Doug. And so, yeah, I'm buying the whole thing, hook, line, and sinker.
I, too, am buying the entire story. Why would Kyle Finney come on national TV and tell stories? Why would Tim Tebow's story about not swinging a bat in 5 years? I don't think he's touched a bat in 5 years. I think there was more than 5 balls that went over 400 yards. You know what else I think? Feet. I'm sorry, feet.
Yeah.
Maybe yards.
Maybe
yards.
Oh, Bunyan.
I'll tell you what else I think. I think that if Tim Tebow ran in all 3 legs of the Triple Crown, that he could win against the horses with a vertically challenged person on his back. I think Tim Tebow is the bomb in all facets of being an athlete, and he can do every single thing he wants.
I can't believe you people believe this. That guy just came on TV. He was a great actor. That guy was a Florida
you think he was an actor?
That guy was an actor. That guy was a paid actor to come on here and say that about Tim Tebow.
There's
no way that happened.
Why would he do that?
He hates Tebow.
I don't know. It's unbelievable. Seriously, it's unbelievable. I mean, if this is true, that's one of the most unbelievable things I've ever heard. I've gone into a batting cage after not hitting for a long time. It's hard to even hit pitches. Baseball is one of the hardest sports. Hitting a baseball is the hardest thing to do. And for him not to pick up a bat in 5 years and crank 12 out of 15 pitches out, it's unbelievable to me.
This alleged actor even said on TV he was left-handed and threw Tebow off because he started out pitching left-handed.
That's one of the most unbelievable stories I've ever heard.
The only thing I'll say, and I do not mean this as a knock at you, athletic ability-wise, I have not seen you play a sport. I'm just going to go maybe Tebow a little higher.
Me too, Dana.
That's all I'm going to say.
And I've seen him play. I'll take Tebow, too.
That's going to do it for Third Down. Coming up in Fourth Down, Lane Kiffin reportedly is going to make $4 million at USC this year. But is the new coach of the Trojans worth all that money? Skip and the Stews will weigh in.
If you think all batteries are the same, consider this.